Okay, so there we go. By the way, I don't edit out starts, I just dive in. I make it super awkward, and then, if anything, I find it more chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, welcome back to the FKME podcast. And today we have with us John Whaite. Did I say that right that time?
Yeah.
Did I? I was saying it wrong before.
John Whaite.
I thought you had to like a whistle.
Like Dolly Parton when she says whisper.
Whisper, yeah.
Whisper.
Yeah, I kind of
John
thought...
Whaite.
I thought we had to... Okay.
It's not really, it's just wait.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute.
Okay, all right. So, well, there we go. Now I've learned.
You can call me whatever you want.
All right, then I'll remember that for later. All right, so today our topic is being queer in the media.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting because I think in the media there is a lot of queer.
There's behind the scenes,
Yeah.
it's like throbbing with queerness.
Yeah?
Yeah, but it really is. And I think it's getting more and more open. But if you look at kind of a lot of, historically, a lot of people have had to pretend to be straight just to survive in the media.
Yeah, there is a bit of that. Before we really dive into it, let's tell the audience, for those who don't know you, what have you done in the media?
Oh, God. Well, it started in 2012 when I won the Great British Bake Off. And then since then, I've kind of dabbled in daytime TV, being a daytime TV presenter and a chef on television. Okay. And then I did Strictly. I was the first all-male couple on Strictly Come Dancing in 2021. Mm-hmm.
I remember when that was all over the news.
It was everywhere,
yeah.
everywhere. And then in 2023, I decided I've had enough of television. I've had enough of the media. I'm going to be an OnlyFans. I'm going to be an OnlyFans whore.
Well, that's going to be something we need to delve into in a bit, about how that's kind of changed.
Yes.
But let's get back to that about the media. So you're saying there's a lot of queer in the back. And a lot of people have had to fake not being queer.
Yeah. Yeah, they have for a long, long time. And I think that's primarily because the media is run by those who sell soap powder. It's a very corporate enterprise, and you think that the media is like the circus, you can run away and join the circus.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a completely hierarchical corporate structure that is based on fear of what the shareholders or the viewers will say. Okay. And so for a very, very long time, the people at the top made it quite clear that if you don't fit into the heteronormative standard, then you will not survive in the media unless you're overtly camp and you can entertain people. Okay. So if you're overtly camp and the joke's on you and we can laugh at you, you can be queer.
Do you find then that there's a lot of the camp people on TV that's actually them overdoing it for that reason? Yeah. So behind closed doors, they're like, "Oh, give me a pint."
Yeah, and packet of pork scratches and football, but they have to kind of perpetuate these stereotypes just because anything other than that is what people are afraid of. They're afraid. People like you're queer, but you're fairly butch, and I think people wouldn't a lot of people wouldn't understand that. They'd be like, "No, you're not queer. Look at you."
It does surprise people.
Yeah,
I think people's gaydars are a bit better.
They're getting
they're getting there, but it still surprises people, and people don't know how to read it. 'Cause especially that my partner as well is fairly quite butch.
Yeah,
they're like, "Hold on, normally there's a girl," is the term. Yeah. That's the term.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which one's the girl? And it's just like, no. It
doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. Sometimes it does, I'm having to put a pair of high heels on a wig on every now and again. I'm joke. But, I think the problem with it is that what that does is when the media perpetuates those stereotypes, I think that drives a lot of homophobia within our community as well. Because it gets people pissed off with, oh, you're just acting camp because you're feathering it up tonight just for the sake of it, for attention. Yeah. And I think it's actually a lot of internalized homophobia from the external, from that kind of thing.
Okay.
And it really annoys me that for so long that has been the case. I do think it's getting better. I do think the media is much more inclusive. Yeah. But I was getting sick of being rolled out at Gay Pride. Like Blue Peter messaged my agent saying, "Oh, can John come and do the Gay Pride issue?" Well, no, you've not touched me at Christmas or Easter. I'm not just rent-a-gay. And I'm happy, I did Strictly because it was for the kids who were queer, for the queer kids. I did Strictly. I danced with another man on Strictly for the queer kids.
I mean, that is pretty important. That's a really cool thing to see on Strictly.
It was life-changing. Like people, like a butch man came up to me in Asda, and I thought it was going to, knock me out as I was reaching for a jar of cottage cheese. And he said to me, I want to thank you for what you did because my son came out as gay last night because of you and Johannes. And that really made me realise that Strictly was monumental.
That's incredible.
It was huge.
Yeah.
But then after that, I was getting tired of being rent-a-gay. I'm not, I will fly the flag at any occasion.
Yeah.
But that is not all I am.
Yeah.
I was getting annoyed.
So so obviously you're saying rent-a-gay tends to come around about Pride, which Pride's actually coming up, isn't it? Pride month.
Yeah.
Are you going to find that you're going to get a lot of offers?
Well, it's weird because now that I do OnlyFans, I'm not going to get touched by any mainstream media. And that was fine because I took a step back from mainstream media to open my bakery. And to be honest with you, I was getting tired of the manipulation within it.
Yeah.
So I don't care. And if I do get offers, I'll just say no.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just, companies come up to me and offer me 20, 30, 40, 50 grand sometimes to do a Pride campaign. And unless that they can prove that they've had a really clear track record with gay rights, I'll just say you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, because there's a lot of boycotting now happening with Prides, because based on
Pride
sponsors.
washing.
Yeah.
Pride washing, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of, they'll go, who's sponsoring it? And they'll be like, right, those companies now, they're just jumping on the bandwagon. All that sort of stuff. I was reading about it today, actually, on social media, that certain ones that are being boycotted. I'm not going to name them, because it's for people to make their own choices on that.
You don't get done for libel.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it is quite crazy, and you have made a valid point, because I remember a supplement company, it's like they jumped on the bandwagon, and they just like, here's a rainbow coloured protein powder, and I was just like, why have you not got that the rest of the year?
Well, that's the thing, and
It's rainbow flavoured. I'm assuming Skittles, I don't know.
What does the rainbow taste like?
Who knows?
It's just like anything from the nights out I've been
Unicorn's arse.
Lovely, glittery. So no, I just, for me, I think I got tired of it.
Did you have to gay it up for the media? Like go extra?
Yeah, yes and no. What's interesting is when I did Strictly, they wanted me to
tone it down,
dull it down. They never explicitly said that, but through the music choices, through the outfits.
Yeah.
Like I remember, I once kicked off because I was promised I was promised that I could wear these gold sequin pants for my jive.
Okay.
And I was like, I cannot wait. I was so excited. And then they were like, John, it's just too much. We're gonna put you in some black pants. It's too much. Yeah. And I actually kicked off with the producers. I was like, you've got my hopes. I was knackered. This was like week 13. I was almost done. So actually, in some respects, we had to tone it down, I think, because what was interesting was that a year later, Giovanni and Richie Anderson danced as the second male couple, and because Richie and Giovanni were much more flamboyant and camp, they were voted out more quickly, and that says a lot, I think, about the viewership. I think we'll accept you if you're masculine and if you're strong. We won't accept you if you're dancing to George Michael and wearing a T-shirt that says.
I'm quite surprised on that. Sure, they just weren't as good at dancing.
No, I think it was societal homophobia, unfortunately. Yeah. And the way that the press spoke about it, one woman wrote about it in the Alison Pearson. I will name her because I'm speaking from fact here. She wrote an article about Giovanni and Richie, comparing them to me and Johannes, and I interpreted that. I'm not saying that this is what she said, but I interpreted that. I might be wrong, as kind of saying, if you are masculine and if you do it in this way, it's acceptable. If you're camp and flamboyant, it's less acceptable. So I lost my rag with that, and I kind of I did a post on Instagram about how wrong it was for her to say that.
Well, yeah, and fair play for you to be outspoken about it.
Well, that's the thing. I think people do Strictly and they take advantage of the exposure it gives them. But actually, I did Strictly as a service to the queer kids, and that I continue to wear that badge of honour, and I'm not going to just sit there and this is the thing, I'm too outspoken and too honest to be in the media. If you don't keep your mouth shut and just get on with it and lick arse in the media, you don't do very well. So I've been fucked by the media for 13 years, and now I'm charging for people to see that.
Well, I did spot something on one of your social media accounts the other day. I wouldn't say the other day, probably when not long after you announced that you were doing naughty sites.
Yeah.
And they one of the companies pulled on you. They were like,
Yeah.
yeah, am I allowed to speak about that?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
You don't have to say the brand.
No, so this particular brand who pulled, they didn't pull, it came to an end in March.
Yeah.
And they emailed me. Well, they didn't email me. The annoying thing was they messaged me at 8:30 on a Sunday night on Instagram to say, we won't be able to continue our collaboration with you because of OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And so I was just so vexed because a few months before I'd been to an awards ceremony with them on their sponsored table with 2 other OnlyFans creators. So it's a deeper,
it's a very similar thing, but on a smaller scale.
Yeah, it's duplicitousness.
So, can I say what type of business it is, but not the actual business?
Yeah.
So it was a car company, but it's how you handled it. When you gave the keys back.
So,
go on.
So for 2 months, I'd known that I was going to have to give this car back because they asked me. They said you can keep the car to the end of the agreement, but don't post anything about the car. No more reels. We don't want to be associated with you.
Oh, because you're scum.
Because I'm scum.
You're the dirt of the earth.
I am. I'm just filthy. I deserve to just be alone for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So I gave the keys back with an OnlyFans keyring attached to them, and then I made a final reel where I'm sat in this car and I go, "Forgive me, for I have sinned." And it was just, people loved it. And they I thought that people would be like, oh, spoilt minor celebrity having to give a car back. But people were like, no, you're right. You're calling out bullshit. You're calling out duplicitousness. You are calling out injustice. Because that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Why can't someone who makes adult content also run a bakery and, be the boy next door as well? We all have sex. If people didn't have sex, we would have fallen out of the evolutionary loop a very long time ago. None of us would be here.
Yeah.
It's a huge market, and
it's the oldest profession.
Yeah,
that was one of the first trading things ever.
Exactly. There will always be. My mum once said, there'll always be money in food, birth, death, and sex.
Yeah,
and it's true. And I'm hitting 2 of those things right now. I've got an amazing brownie company, bakery that's doing very well, and I make adult content on OF. So I've just got to hit birth and death as well. I might become an undertaker and a midwife.
There we go. Yeah, sounds fantastic.
Rent me for your births, your bar mitzvahs, and your funerals.
Yeah, you can do the catering as well.
Yeah, do it all.
And a bit of entertainment. Depends what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I got to be invited to one of them. You'll be run off your feet, though.
Well, I'm a workaholic.
Yeah.
I grew up with 2 parents who are very, very good business people and very, very, they work their asses off. So
I do have to say, though, as I was saying, I've had a similar situation, but on a much smaller scale.
Yeah.
Before I did adult content, I was an influencer, and I was sponsored by loads of brands. But as soon as it got out that I did OF, all the messages came in just saying you have to stop it, or we're pulling the contracts. Yeah. And I just went, well, I'm earning far more now than you've ever given me, so
it's crazy.
Ta-ta.
It is, and that's the sad thing is that we shouldn't have to make those separations, those decisions.
I have found, though, I know you were saying about companies now being against it. There are some companies starting to embrace it a little bit.
Yeah.
There are a few, not many.
Yeah.
But I think they're leading the way in going, no, it's not taboo. Everyone does it. It's becoming normal.
I had a phone call last week with a company who does skincare. Oh, yeah. And they're doing a campaign, a huge, massive campaign with OF creators. And I think I priced myself too high, so they said no. But, I've got to stick by my boundaries. But it's great that they are. I won't mention who they are, but they're doing an amazing campaign.
They're not paid you. They're not paid you, so you can't mention
exactly.
No, it's. I'm curious though. I wonder why they're specifically wanting to work with OF creators then, because it sounds like it's an OF campaign, like you said.
Yeah, I think it's just because. because people like me and you are getting tired of being ostracized for what we do. Like, it doesn't mean that we are bad people because we make adult content.
Yeah.
I still am an uncle. I'm still somebody's son. I'm still a brother. I'm still a husband. I still have a very strong moral compass that I live by. But I'm also a kinky bitch, and I'm proud of that fact. I'm proud of the fact that I am comfortable in my sexuality. I'm comfortable to be naked. I'm comfortable in in my skin, because for 35 years I haven't been comfortable in my skin. I've had bulimia. I've had so many issues with my self-image that now I finally think, here I am. Take it or leave it, bitch.
That's fantastic. And do you know what? Have you found, since doing thirsty content, have you found that your body image, your perception of yourself has improved?
Yes, massively. I'm not as skinny as I thought I was. I'm not as fat in the wrong places as I thought I was. You know, I look at myself on the videos. I don't sit there watching them, but when I'm editing them, I think I've done well.
You don't watch them?
I know, I can't.
I quite enjoy doing stuff like that.
Do you?
I watch back my own scenes because I know exactly how it felt there and then.
I can't do it yet.
Ah, fair enough.
But when I was on television, I could never watch myself back.
Yeah. But the good thing, back to what we were talking about then, is you feel a lot better in yourself because of doing this.
Like, in every imaginable way, like, in terms of self-image. My therapist is like, what's happened? You've turned a corner. Like, you're so much more unapologetic in who you are. And it's true, like, because I'm being, like, on, what people don't like is duplicitousness. They don't like dishonesty and sneakiness. And from the day one, I've said, right, this is what I'm doing. Don't like it, fuck off. If you don't like meat, stay at my butcher shop, basically, because I've got a lot of meat down here. And,
yeah, I've seen it.
So, you know, it's like, I think just the fact that I'm being honest with who I am, my mum, when she found out, she was like, can I say that my son's a porn star? I said, well, I've not won a grabber yet, but one day.
Oh yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah, you'll get that soon. You know, next year. 'Cause I think it's all the nominees are done now.
Yeah, I'm too late for the entries this year.
Oh,
but
dear.
like, I just, you know, my stepdad was a little bit worried at first, but I think he's always been proud. Secretly, he's always been proud of the fact that I am who I am.
Yeah.
I live by my moral compass, and you've got to.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever had people reject you in your close family?
No, not at all.
you
My family, luckily, super supportive, because when I did it, it was more so out of necessity. It was COVID was coming.
Yeah.
It was that whole, and I was a business owner. And it was a case of, well, what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know, you're going to end up homeless. But then I think they thought it was temporary, but then they realised, oh, he's actually really good at this and he's doing very well financially. And then my mum was like telling people,
Yeah.
like, you know, oh, what's an update on the family? Oh, well, my son's a porn star now.
It's so, but it can be so lucrative.
And with my dad, I didn't tell him straight away, but my dad's not 100% well. You know, he's, and I was like, he doesn't need to know any of this, just in case it was negative. And then once he kind of found out, 'cause I told my mum, but with my dad, he found out, he kind of worked it out.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's great. He was like, I wish that I did it, you know.
Oh.
It was kind of that mindset of it. So,
I bet that was like a massive weight off your shoulders.
yeah,
when you said
definitely.
that.
Yeah. Because as I said, with him not being well, I was I didn't, if it was going to be negative, I was like, I didn't want the final years being negative, but he was super supportive. Oh. So great hearing your family that they're good about it.
And that's all that matters. Like, I don't care what any other motherfucker in this world thinks.
You do find, though, what I've witnessed with a lot of people is the people you think will be supportive in terms of friends aren't as supportive as the people you didn't think would be supportive.
Oh, completely.
Oh, so you've got the same situation.
I've got the same situation. I've got like, people drop off the radar, you know, they judge you, they say, oh, we're just worried about you. Why are you worried about me? Like, I'm an adult man, I can make my own decisions. You know, I'm not some sort of, I have capacity, I've got mental capacity, I think. Yeah. But it's, you know, and what is great for me is that for 12, 13 years in the media, I had to play the boy next door. I'm not the boy next door. I'm John Waite, and I'm very, very strange and a bit weird. And now I'm appealing to less people, to fewer people, but I'm so much more happy.
Good. It's the main thing.
Yeah.
So, back to the media and back to brands. We're a brand.
Yeah, you are, baby.
Yeah, so fuck me. It's there. We've I was thinking for me, I couldn't find it myself. So fuckmemerch.com. That's where you want to go check out our brand.
Go.
To be fair, they look fucking brilliant on you.
I like these briefs.
Yeah.
They're very accommodating.
Well, you were saying earlier you're quite
meaty.
They're quite meaty, so I think you know they are designed for the bigger pouches.
It's a very big pouch.
Because, the first ones, well, I think I mentioned, it was, they were a bit snug. So I was like, nah, I'm not having them. Get rid of them all, redo them. Let's show them the band, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
So that's the Fuck Me Loud briefs. The reason they're called Loud is obviously that logo goes all the way around.
Yeah.
Would you ever wear anything like that in a club?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been to a few
You know what I mean?
nights in a club.
Yeah.
I've been to, because I mean, I'm kind of like, I don't have a particular kink. I don't have a particular fetish, but I love a community.
Yeah.
And what I love, like when you go to the Eagle in Manchester, you see leather men and rubber men, and you just see people stood outside having a cig, having a drink, and having a sense of community, which a lot of queer people when they grow up don't have that. And they fear that they'll never have that for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
And people, you know, people who don't get it look on it and think, oh, it's sordid, it's seedy. Fuck off, Brenda. It's not sordid and it's not seedy.
To be fair, obviously Eagle, you mentioned it's Eagle Manchester you're referring to. I love going there. I have a really great time.
Yeah.
And the gay village is actually a huge part of why I moved to Manchester.
Is it?
Yeah, because I'm from North Wales and there's just no culture.
No.
That's what you're saying. People, you're growing up thinking I'm never going to experience that. And a night out, yes, there is the whole things that people don't like, and you know the people stripping down, and there's too much music and this and that. I love it.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's just throbbing.
Yeah.
It's free. And I mean, you can see, you're at my home now, and you can see where I grew up. It's very rural, very quiet, you know. Anything that happens down the road was big news.
Oh, yeah.
But there was no hope for a little queer kid like me.
No.
Whereas now, you go to Manchester and you've got a community.
100%.
And you've got friends and you've got like-minded people, so it's important.
I was going to say, you bump into so many different types of people as well. Because as we're saying, the heteronormative viewpoint on gay people is like very camp and this and the other. But in Canal Street, in the gay village, you've got something for everyone. But you're right.
Yeah, it's just...
It's a leather pinching.
Everything we knew, it wasn't that, it was...
Just in case something popped out.
Yeah, I thought
dear.
something had popped out.
No, you're all good. I'll tell you. But yeah, what I was going to say. So yeah, there's something for everyone, isn't there? So what kind of night do you like?
So I just like a night where you go and I go upstairs. I am a social smoker, I hate to admit it. You know, I'll have a cigarette or two outside. But, you know, just chat rubbish to people outside, go downstairs, have a dance, go into the darker areas of a club maybe every now and again. That's all I'll say on that. And just have a bit of sense of freedom and...
Liberation.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, to be fair, the smoking no more, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was a smoker, but packed that in. I miss that side, though, in a club where you have somewhere to go talk.
Yeah.
Because if you're not a smoker, it's like, all I've got is loud music and me going, what? I can't hear you.
Yeah, you need that in fresh air.
Yeah.
You know, to be honest though, you know, I do like to be in bed by 10 o'clock with a cup of decaf tea as well. So my friend Emil runs this amazing club in New York called Mother Disco.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. So I'm dying to go to that because that would be my perfect time frame. I just want to be in bed with a cup
it
of
actually
tea.
shuts, like, it is get out the door.
Yeah, it's like lights on, off you go, back home.
I'm
I'm
aging a bit now, and I'm thinking that's ideal. Yeah.
Well, I just, I think since looking after myself and my health, like I really value my sleep, and that sounds so boring, but I love a throbbing club night.
Yeah.
But I've got to be in bed, the latest 1 a.m. these days, which is sad because I'm only 27. No, I'm not. I'm 36. But I'm happy. I love my life. I love my husband. I love my dog, and I just love the life that we've got.
Nice. There's a good balance. Like you can say I can go enjoy myself, but I also have my comforts.
Oh yeah. And we do. We enjoy ourselves. Let's face it. But I think a steady, stable.
Speaking of balance, so this is now health. Yeah. Obviously, you're clearly into the gym.
Love the gym.
Yeah, into your fitness, great shape. You have a company based around baking brownies.
Rough Puff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't calling you a rough puff. You are Butch.
That's all right. I'll call me what you like. It's fine. I've never had that before, but it was interesting. Anyway, back to Rough Puff. How long have you had that?
So it's a year old.
And obviously you've been baking for how long in general?
Oh, since I was 5, so 31 years.
Yeah, and you've been in shape since forever?
No, I've been all shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
I've been really dangerously thin with anorexia. I've been quite overweight as well. But now I find a lot of calm in the gym. Like when I go to the gym, I listen to classical music.
Really?
Yeah. I just find it like 2 hours. I turn my phone on airplane mode and I just zone out. So I love to work out. But also, you know, I don't eat, like people always say, how do you work in a bakery and you know, you're not the size of a house? Well, I have a brownie every day, but I count my calories. You know, I count my macros.
So you do have one every day?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. How big?
Either a cookie. How big? Brownie size. So what's that?
Yeah, I've seen that yours are quite thick.
Oh, they are. Not the only thing that's thick about me, love. What?
But I've seen on your social media when you're cutting them up and stuff, they're like quite chunky, quite.
Yeah, they're chunky.
How many calories are we talking?
In one brownie?
Yeah,
I do not know, and I don't want to know.
Oh, okay,
a lot.
Because you say a calorie count, so you must.
Yeah, but I always leave 600 calories.
Oh, okay.
Either way for treats.
Okay, that's quite a wise approach then. So that's how you do it.
But the thing is to eat like. When I was working out in the gym years ago, I would eat 1,800 calories. I'm 6'2". You know, I need calories. I now eat about 4,000 calories a day.
Okay.
So I eat. I used to be afraid of food. I was always like on diets, on keto, on Atkins. I eat.
Do you know what? I've recently, this past year, myself, found that exact situation because I'm now wanting to become like a muscle bear over time. So I've just gained roughly 2 stone.
Wow.
Yeah, and so that, for those who don't know, that's 28 pounds. And I can't think of how many kilos that is.
Old money. Well, a kilo is 2.2 pounds. So it's like 13,
yeah, so
12 kilos.
I'm so far that up. But it's just, the reason I've done it is because I was always dieting. And that's what you said where you were at. Because there's this pressure, especially with the media. I imagine you're like, oh, I've got to look a certain way.
Yeah.
And I think for you to turn around and I think, was it, you did a post saying about people asking how you got your bum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do remember things. I do pay attention.
You do?
And I found it really quite inspirational for a lot of people who they're like, oh, I want that bum, but they're always dieting.
Yeah.
They kind of want to have that certain look. But it's like, and you're saying if you don't eat,
you don't get an ass.
No.
This ass, it's a big ass. It comes from calories and it comes from doing the right exercises as well. Like you see so many people who are like upside down triangles, massive up top, but they've got a pancake booty. I would rather have with a little shoulders and a great big fat peach. I love having a fat ass.
So what exercises then?
So the best exercises are squats, Bulgarian split squats, hip thrusts, lunges. Like you've got to think, whenever you do legs, your legs do kind of 3 main movements. They do splits, they do squats, and they do like a hinge, hip hinge. So do a different variety of those movements. So whether it's Romanian deadlifts, lunges, squats, whether it's front squats, Bulgarian split squats, and walking lunges, and glute thrust, hip thrusts. Yeah. You've got to exhaust that booty to make it grow. It
was literally your reel, talk about it, that made me add Bulgarian split squats back into my workout.
Do you hate me now?
I love them. It's something that I've neglected.
Yeah.
I do a lot of leg training, believe it or not.
You do? Chunky
but
legs.
I just thought that's an exercise that I haven't done in a long time.
Yeah.
And it was that real. It was exactly that I thought, do you know what, I'll get that in my routine.
Well, I'm taking all credit for that ass now.
As it grows, with this bulk becoming a muscle.
Tattoo my name on it.
Yeah. That'd be my first tattoo, you know.
Would it?
Yeah.
I'm covered, but they're all shit. So don't
go on, what we got coming?
No, I don't want to. I've got. Well, my first tattoo was I was 13 in Germany. I got a star on my hip because I was writhing around in so much pain. It looked more like a kind of house.
Oh.
So I got that covered up. My mum said, right, go and get that covered up. She gave me 20 quid to go to Bill's Tattoos in Chorley.
Yeah. And
I wanted like a Freddie Lundberg growling panther. Here's what I got.
Okay.
Because it's all I could afford.
20 quid's 20 quid.
I mean, you know, I will get it removed one day, but it's a part of who I am now. It's just a silly tattoo. And I've got a big Buddha on my back, which you'll see later on when we're down to business. Yeah, sorry.
It's all right. It's
sorry, Mum. And, Brenda, if you're listening, fuck off. This conversation's not for you. Mum's not called Brenda. She's called Linda. She's wonderful. So I'm riddled with tattoos that I regret. Riddled with regret, but only from tattoos, not from any other life choice.
Well, you're unapologetic, but you apologise for your tattoos.
Yeah, the only thing I apologise for is the panther on my hip.
Yeah. Oh, cool. All right, so as we started on queer in the media, let's delve back to that just for a little brief bit. So, do you think it still happens where people are actually completely like hiding their sexuality?
Oh, I know
like,
people
on the front.
I know people. I'm not going to name them because I'll never out somebody.
No, yeah.
But I know people who are rampant homosexuals.
Yeah.
Who have to have wives and kids because they work in media.
Really?
Yeah, and it's sad. It's sad for everyone. It's sad for that person. It's sad for their wife. It's sad for the children. It's sad because, you know, that's the way it is. That's the power of men in suits, fat cats at the top, and their manipulative ways.
I was going to say, you get it in the government as well.
Wherever there's men in power.
Yeah. I'm not saying I want to go into politics right now, but I just kind of want to say there are people in politics who are definitely swinging that way.
Yeah.
And yeah, anyway. But yeah, it's such a shame.
I mean, I've had... No, I can't tell you.
No,
I
you
was
can't,
going to tell
can't.
you because it would be front page news. So I can't tell you. But I wish I could. I wish I could. I wish I could tell
I can't
you.
wait to look back at that bit because I'm like double taking back to the camera. Ooh.
No, I wish, because I think, you know, wherever there's money involved, and there are men in suits, there is manipulation, there's secrets and lies and duplicitousness, and it's sad.
Yeah.
No one wins apart from...
Do you find the media in the sense of like TV and government, does that intertwine with that side, the queer side?
In what way?
Because like you're saying, men in power, men in suits, people who are like closeted, or even ones who aren't closeted, do you think they try to swing it about a bit with like their power to kind of get people in the media to kind of work their way up?
I mean, I don't know. I think
I'm just curious.
Yeah,
Random chat.
More than likely.
Yeah.
More than likely. I mean,
it was just an idea. It popped in my
yeah,
head.
no, because the two things are overlapped. Like, what I was most surprised about is the power that the media have in terms of television.
Yeah.
To leak stories to the press to promote. Sorry, that's my wind chime.
I just realised, the window's open. I'm going to shut it. Carry on. Carry on what you're saying.
I've reached enlightenment while I've been sat here listening to that.
Yeah.
No, I was most surprised about how the press have fed stories by the TV industry to promote the shows. Like, everything is so linked and it's so insidiously so. And really, I, as the gobby gay chef on television, I was a pawn, you know. I was there to sell soap powder or fish fit, whatever was sponsoring the show. That's all I was there for, to make fat rich people. I mean, was it fat cats? I'm not body shaming. You know, richer.
Yeah. Did you ever sell the teeth whitening strips?
No, but I wish I had.
They were everywhere.
I love a tooth whitening strip.
To be fair, I agree. I don't use them, but I wish that they're like, you need your teeth doing. You know?
No, I had Invisalign done.
Did you?
Yeah, and that was amazing. Like that was life changing.
You still have to wear them, don't you?
Oh, every single night.
Yeah.
Every single night, unless, I forget. But yeah, you do. And so the good thing about being in the press is that you do get a lot of freebies.
Yeah.
In the media is that you get some freebies. But there comes a point in life when you think, this is not worth it. Like, my moral compass was kind of like spinning out of control. Even Bear Grylls wouldn't be able to read it. So I just said to myself, do you know what? Fuck this. Sod all the free stuff. Sod all the perks of the job. Leave now, or you're going to end up completely losing everything. And so I did. I said bye-bye.
So you're not going to sell your soul for teeth whitening strips?
No.
That's good.
No.
It doesn't matter how much you want them, there's a line.
No, but that's what makes me laugh about doing OF and adult content. People say, you sold your soul. Oh, bitch, I'll buy it back in 10 years.
Exactly. All right, well, I'm quite happy with everything we've covered here. I think it's awesome. Yeah. It's been fantastic having you on. And to sell your soul again, do you mind just lifting your feet up for the camera?
They're now covered in lint from my rug. I don't ever hoover my rug. But I've got linty socks from my rug.
The camera. I didn't want your feet. I didn't want to sniffle.
Oh, sorry.
Thanks for coming on. I was surprised you were actually so open as you've been.
Well, this is the thing. That's why I won't make it in any industry, because I'm just too honest. Yeah. I should be in a freak show in the circus.
Well, you just started your OF career. Let's give it time.
There we go.
You never know what's going to be on the internet soon. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thanks
I really
for having
appreciate that. And make sure you tune in next week. Actually, not next week. We're doing it every other week now.
Oh, yeah.
We're going bi-weekly.
Well, it takes a lot to set all these bits and bobs. So.
Yeah, but in the meantime, they can go to fuckmemerch.com and buy some Fuck Me merch for... Oh, I haven't mentioned... We've got an awesome event, 24th of May. I've briefly told you about it, but unfortunately...
I'm in the Lake District.
Yeah, you got something booked.
With my straight friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so we're going to have to...
I can't bring them. I could.
You could.
I'd be very open to it, but we're having a holistic weekend of paddleboarding and noodles.
Oh, nice. I love paddleboarding.
Me too.
Yeah, you can wear those briefs as you do it and then take a
I
picture.
will. I'm going to. I will.
Yeah. But no, we've got the event 24th of May. If we do another one, you'll come to the next one, right?
I'll be there.
Yeah. But check out the event information and make sure you check out footmemerch.com. Thanks.
Bye.